Wrigley Field, one of baseball's oldest and most famous ballparks. Today, the Giants road trip continues in Game 1 of the series here at Wrigley, Giants-Cubs, and it's coming up next. Day baseball here in Chicago as we come to you from the north side. Beautiful Wrigley Field, Game 1 of this 3-game series. Giants-Cubs, welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwight Kuiper. Alongside me is Jeremy Affelt. Well, you show up at the ballpark and you check the flags. What's it like? We knew one thing when we got up this morning. It was going to be very warm, and it turns out the weather is blowing out. So what would your advice be to both starters?
Well, when it's hot, when it's windy, and when you're playing in small ballparks, the strategy is always the same. For your starters, keep your team within striking distance at all times. Do not walk guys, because homers we're going to assume are going to happen in a game like this. It's just that you don't want the 2-run homer to happen because you walked a guy. Right. Keep it to a solo homer and know that these games can change in a hurry. So just keep your team within striking distance to come back and win a ball game.
Giants have a left fielder that they've seen before. He's been out for a while. It's good to have Mac Williamson back in the lineup.
It is. I mean, they need power. They need thump. He kind of provided that spark for him when he was up here. And unfortunately, he got that concussion deal. But I think the way he's been hitting down in AAA, he's still hitting for power, and he seems to be seeing the ball real well. So I think they're thinking this ballpark with him coming in, big things. All
right. Should be some runs scored today, and it'll be fun. It always is at Wrigley. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
Back here at Wrigley Field, you see Ernie Banks, the statue outside the ballpark. Very nice statue. You have to like the blue in that statue. All right, our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Hey, get to the beach. Great day to get to the beach, at least here. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 85 degrees, and it feels like 95. You see the winds, it's blowing out. Humidity at 43%, and it is warm and sunny. And I don't think anybody in uniform would complain about today's conditions. So here's the Giants lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And we're going to welcome back one guy, that's for sure. It'll be Gorky Hernandez in the leadoff spot. Then you see McCutchen, Posey, and Belt. Evan Longoria is going to hit in the 5th slot. Then Crawford and Mac Williamson. Welcome back. Followed by Kelby Tomlinson. And then Derek Holland. The Giants come in 2 games under 500. And 2 games because they lost the first 2 games on this road trip to a very, very talented Houston Astros team. So Mac Williamson is back, and Jeremy Affeldt, you certainly remember this.
Yeah, this was a frustrating thing. It could have been way worse than that, the way he hit. But even see Harper there was. He didn't look too rattled after that. Then I think after a while, it kind of you start to wake up with some dizziness. And unfortunately, it was a concussion. But
he did. He helped the Giants win that ball game, even though that home run came after the tumble. But nowadays, with all the rules and regulations in player safety, you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get yourself back out on the field, and Mac Williamson has done that, and that's only good for the player, because it not only affects you now, but it affects you 30 years from now, as we're finding out with all the injuries in the NFL. The wind is indeed blowing out, and it is a day to keep the ball down if you're Kyle Hendricks or Derek Holland. The Cubs are coming off of a 2-game series against the Indians, and the Indians beat them twice. So both teams come into this game having lost their last 2 games, and the Giants want to get back on track, obviously, with 5 more games on this road trip after today's game. And a nice day off for everybody yesterday. If you can pick a city to have a day off in this one, or New York or Seattle, those are all great towns to do that, and with all the great restaurants. So a lot of the guys get a chance to get together and enjoy themselves.
no wind either. It was just a nice day. Overall, you can walk around, you're not wearing jackets. It's a pleasant day to go out. Wasn't too hot.
Yeah, one of those days, and we haven't had many, where you can leave the hotel, you don't have to have a jacket, although some people did bring one.
Yeah, I might have.
Is that my bad?
Yeah, I'd say it's your bad. When you say bring a jacket for the day game, it's great. Sweating bullets.
You weren't supposed to bring one, though, that looked like you were going to wear it on top of squaw in January.
Pitcher for the Cubs, Kyle Hendricks, 3-3-3, 3.4, 55 innings pitched, 49 hits, 11 walks, 44 strikeouts. Not his normal numbers, but he's also given up more homers than usual as well. You're going to see him. He's a sinker change pretty much pitcher. He's going to throw to both sides of the plate with that sinker, and he will throw changeups behind in the count to get himself back to even. So the Giants cannot just sit on one pitch. They need to be ready. Playing defense behind him this afternoon from left to right, Happ, Alomar Jr., or Almora Jr., excuse me, and the great utility Ben Zobrist. Third to first, Chris Bryant. Russell playing short, Javier Baez playing second, Anthony Rizzo first, and Contreras catching.
Kyle Hendricks Giants saw Hendricks in postseason. They've seen him during the regular season. And he can be tough. If he gets into a really good rhythm, that's when you have trouble with him. If you want to have success against Kyle Hendricks, you have to do it early in the game.
Career 2.49 ERA at Wrigley. And in a windy city like this, the reason I think that a guy like that can have success is because of the sinker. He keeps the ball in the ballpark. He keeps it down. He utilizes the wind. When it's humid and windy, your ball moves a little bit more. And like you said, when he can kind of hit both sides of the plate with that sinker, good things can happen, and you need to keep him out of that kind of rhythm. Attack him early and often.
So here's Gorkys Hernandez. Gorkys has impressed the manager enough now to get a start against a right-hander. And on this warm afternoon, here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's a swing and a foul. So we get started 2 minutes late. We started at 1:22. And the 0-1 to Gorkys Hernandez is a called strike, and that's called by home plate umpire Corey Blazer. Sherwater, Cooper, and Cedarstrom from first to third, with Cedarstrom the crew chief. Gorkys behind in the count, hitting .287. A swing and a miss, and that's how this game gets started. A 3-pitch strikeout. It's the first time Gorkys Hernandez had ever faced Kyle Hendricks, and it doesn't go well. And here's McCutchen. McCutchen, on the other hand, has faced Hendricks a lot. 22 at bats. He's got 5 hits. And he hits a high drive to right. Zobrist back at the wall, and he makes the catch. McCutchen nearly knocks one out. 2 down.
That's a sign of today right here. That ball was away on this SoFi pitchcast. It's brought to you by SoFi Modern Finance Company. And you'll see that that ball was away, and he just kind of got it in the air. When he got it in the air, it just kind of kept drifting. And then this heat and this wind, you get a ball up today, anything can go out.
Yeah. Hendricks' reaction when McCutchen made contact was that he thought it was gone. Here's Buster. 305 for Buster Posey, a couple of home runs, 16 driven in. Buster had 7 at bats in Houston and went 2 for 7. So loses the bat. It's 0-2.
A little different look than what they saw in Houston, though. 96 down to 87.
Almost looked like a backup slider, didn't it?
Yeah. Late movement.
Three for 16. Those are the numbers for Buster Posey against Kyle Hendricks. Foul back. Buster stays alive. Brandon Belt to follow. Giants are 2 back of the Colorado Rockies in the National League West. They're 10-16 on the road this year, and they're 3-3 against the National League Central. A 1-hopper. It's 2-2. Giants dropped 2 out of 3 to the Pirates, and they won 2 out of 3 against the Reds, and those are the 6 games against the National League Central. Center field. On the move is Almora, and on the track he makes the catch. 2 deep fly balls. Cubs are coming up. lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Familiar names up and down this Cubs lineup, including the guy leading off in that Zobrist. Almora will hit second. Then it's Chris Bryant, and he loves lefties. Rizzo, Contreras, and Javier Baez. Ian Happ will hit in the 7th spot. Then it's Russell and Hendricks.
Holland pitching for the Giants this afternoon. There you see it, 2-5 with a 4.94 ERA, 47 innings pitched, 40 hits, 20 walks, 42 Ks. The 20 walks are probably the most glaring thing for him on why his ERA seems to be a little higher. That's how he gets it done. He mixes it up quite a bit. Fastballs, curveballs, sliders, changeups, and he's going to need to do that effectively today with the ballpark situation that we have with hot and windy and a pretty good offense.
So Holland. Little moment for him as he now crawls up the hill as Zobrist, the switch hitter, stands in. Hitting at 288. And the first pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. 10 for 33. That's what Zobrist is against Holland. On the ground. And Onage is Onage.
Speaking of ground balls and defense, behind Holland this afternoon from left to right, fresh off the DL, hoping to provide some pop for the Giants. Williamson playing left, Hernandez in center, McCutchen in right, third to first. Longoria facing off against his ex-manager today. Crawford at short, Tomlinson at second. Big Giraffe, Belt at first, and Buster Posey catching.
Almora hitting .313. He's got a couple of home runs, 12 driven in, and he bunts this one over Posey and foul, and it's no balls and 1 strike. That's right. I'm sure Longoria and Madden have fond memories of the years that they were together. Longoria was a rook.
He was. They saw him playing catch to warm up right before the game, and he kind of looked into the dugout and gave Madden a little hat tip.
Out of play. Zobrist is not, and I repeat, not a threat to steal. Much has been made around town about the shoes from Zobrist. The all black shoes that the league office said, no. You can't have those. So I guess he's spruced them up a little bit. Left field, base hit. So back-to-back hits here. And now Chris Bryant's going to hit. And we saw the numbers for Bryant against lefties. So Holland's going to have to be careful, and he's going to have to be careful with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Usually this is the guy when you face, I'm not letting anybody beat me, but he's put himself in a little bit of a predicament here with first and second, having to face him. He can hit in some double plays, though. I've seen it.
Overall, close to 300 at 296. Pretty good pitch, and I think Holland obviously wanted it.
I think Buster and Bochy
and
the rest of the Giants wanted it.
I think they all did. I agree. Two balls and no strikes. I mean, those pitches are designed to try to get the double play. And if you're Bryant, you take him, and now you're in the driver's seat because Holland has to come in. He cannot walk the bases loaded here in the first. Foul. Outfield deep, as you would expect. Crawford, Tomlinson, not really a double play depth, only because Tomlinson and Crawford are both playing Bryant to pull. Belt is off the line at first. Two and two.
That inner half fastball, you would think is a dangerous pitch 2-1 to a guy like Bryant, but when you set him up with 3 off-speed pitches before that, it slows his bat speed down regardless, and it's going to be jumping on him a little bit.
Well, Holland's got one pitch here to do whatever he wants. And he went with a high fastball that stays at 2-2. I would say that we have a sellout today, folks. Friday afternoon baseball here in Chicago. 2-2. Foul back. Bryant spoiled a good pitch.
Change up away that he went after. That's what good hitters do. They take pitches they think maybe called a strike. It's too close to take. I can't do anything with it. I'm just going to take an emergency hack and try to just foul it off to get myself another pitch, hoping that he comes with a mistake.
Zobrist at second, Almora at first. Rizzo watching from the on-deck circle. And the pitch. And this one just sails off the glove of Buster Posey.
I don't see that too much, huh?
See if Buster expected something.
It almost looked like he didn't. They got a cross up. He went up to get something thinking it was going to come back down, and it stayed up.
Well, now you do have an open base. Got him. How about that?
It's a really good pitch right there. He's been fouling those off, and he might not have wanted to go up that high, but the reason why it worked is he showed his fastball. He started climbing the ladder on him, and he was aggressive at every point that fastball was up near his belt. He was swinging. And he was aggressive. 3-2. Saw a big. That pitch can look so big in your eyes when you're 3-2 count and you're ready for a heater, and that ball just looks like a big melon coming at you.
And maybe he doesn't throw that pitch if he doesn't have an open base.
That's right.
Rizzo hitting at 207. And a called strike, and it's 0-1. Giants do not overshift on Rizzo, but they do play Tomlinson out on the grass. Zobrist now at third. Almora at second. And a little flare and a base hit. Williamson's got it. Here's his throw home. It's a good one, and they got him. So Almora thrown out easily. Staying, however, in scoring position is Rizzo.
Tell you what, you know, Mac Williamson has really changed his game this year. I mean, he's coming in. Last year, I didn't think he was anything special as an outfielder. Changed the way he hit, making great. I mean, that's a great throw on the line. I mean, that's a strike. Had him by 20 feet.
You know what?
Good job right there. Great play.
Jeremy, he had time really to just make sure to make a good throw. Good job. So 2 outs, and here's Contreras. Credit Rizzo with an RBI. And the next pitch, or first pitch to Contreras, is down low. So Rizzo at second. His RBI is his 31st of the season. On the ground sharply to Crawford. And Crawford's going to throw in time. And what Holland does is he limits the damage. And that's a good thing on a day like today.
Is brought to you by Denny's. Welcome to America's Diner.
Well, looking for the perfect gift for the graduate in your life? Bring them out to the Giants game with our grad pack. Tickets to 2 games and a class of 2018.
Out of here.
T-shirt. It's the perfect gift. Packages starting at $49. Visit sfgiants.com/grad for more info. I actually kind of get tired of doing it, so thanks for picking me up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind doing it now. I mean, but if it doesn't count.
Yeah, you kind of set me up. I felt like I sold it a little bit better in Houston.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of forced me to say it right there.
Maybe we'll do a redo. So here's Belt. 1-0. Belt 5 for 11 lifetime against Kyle Hendricks. Belt pops it up. It's Baez. And he makes the catch. Timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. On this date 67 years ago, Willie Mays made his major league debut at Shibe Park. Mays batted third, played center field. He went 0 for 5, but the Giants beat the Phillies 8-5. Here's Longoria. And Longoria takes the first pitch for a called strike. That's the one thing Hendricks will do, is he will throw strike 1. And sometimes he'll throw strike 2.
He will not overpower you. 87-88 is going to be his best bolt, but he makes a living on putting that ball on the black.
He does.
And moves it around on you.
And he makes you think about any pitch you see with 2 strikes on you, just like that last one. Got him. Second strikeout, and here's Crawford.
And he's going to strike you out different than the last 2 guys they saw in Houston with Cole and Verlander. Verlander and Cole are going to strike you out with heaters. This guy's going to throw that nitpicking fastball and just slow it down a little bit more, just below where you just saw a fastball to get you out in front.
Well, here's Crawford hitting .310. He's turned it up a lot. 5 home runs, 21 driven in. And he takes low. Mac Williamson on deck. Tapped out in front of home plate, and this will be an easy inning for Kyle Hendricks. 1-0 Cubs.
Brought to you by the International Champions Cup. FC Barcelona versus AC Milan. Levi Stadium, August 4th, 5 p.m.
Here at Wrigley Field, it's a 1-0 lead for the Cubs. And on the first pitch to Baez, it's hit out to McCutchen. Well, I give that man credit right there. I was not in Houston. Did watch the game where he whiffed on the pop-up. And you always wait to see what is a player going to say to the media. I lost it in the lights. You know, I had a bad jump. And McCutchen said, I whiffed. I missed it. And it's always refreshing to hear a guy just cop to it.
Your teammates appreciate that too. You can respect the guy that just says, hey, I just tanked it. Like, there's no excuse. It's my fault. I need to be better there. You can let that stuff go a lot easier. You gain a lot of respect among your peers for that kind of stuff.
There's Happ, who doesn't take many easy swings, and he fouls it back. Happ hitting .254. He's got power. And he pops this one, and it's going to be out of play. Dugouts are different here this year. One of the renovations were the dugouts. Way much bigger. And much more comfortable, and maybe a little further down the right field line. Up high, 2-2.
We don't have to worry about dugout concussion scenarios. Those dugouts are so small. I hit my head so much going in there. Guys, especially if they don't play or if they're mad and they just run down in there because they're frustrated about something, that they smoke their head, and it just makes me even more mad.
Foul back. Hey, you're sitting. If you're sitting inside the dugout all those years and somebody did something good and you immediately jumped up, especially if you had that little button on top of your hat.
It rattled you.
Oh, my goodness. And the 1-2 to Happ. Did Buster hang on? He did not. A foul tip. It remains 1-2. Happ has never faced Holland before, at least not during the regular season. There's the umpire wants some baseballs.
Oh, here's that pitch right here. Oh, I don't know, man. He kind of, yeah, Buster was shaking his head a little bit there and closing his eyes. I think it might have rattled him a little bit because that thing hit him in the side of the cheek there.
He got the same one in the same spot back in San Francisco on a Joey Votto foul tip. That was like the last hitter of the game. Got him.
Good pitch. Subaru presents Down on the Farm. Right-handed pitcher Ray Black, 16 games this season with Richmond AA and Sacramento AAA. He has saved 4 out of 5 games with a 3.24 ERA, 16 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 8 walks, 34 strikeouts with a whip of .90 and a fastball velocity of 100.
So wait a minute. 16 innings, 34 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's
almost
to an inning. Yeah. And his walks to hits. His walks, that's impressive when you throw that hard to be able to have a whip of .9.
He's been a guy that has had a hard time staying healthy, but sometimes when you throw that hard, that comes with the territory. And so far, so good. Up the middle, maybe slowed down, and Crawford can't get it, and Russell has a 2-out hit. Love to have that pitcher lead off the inning, but it's not going to happen with this base hit.
It sounded like he broke his bat right there and just snuck it by Crawford. And you know what? You earned that hit. If Crawford can't get to it.
Yeah. Crawford was shading Russell towards the hole. So here's Hendricks. Hendricks is 2 for 21. If you're Holland, you just do not want to have a stressful inning. You don't have one here if you can get the pitcher out. Good pitch, nothing in 2. Say this about what you just read about Mr. Black. If he keeps doing that, he'll be in the big leagues.
Yeah, they need a bullpen. I mean, high velocity bullpen guys are that's what they're looking for.
Make room for him.
If he can throw strikes with high velocity, I think there's always going to be a spot in the bullpen for him.
Always. I mean, it's always nice to have a couple of guys down there that can be bullies by throwing the ball hard. I mean, the Giants saw on the prior road trip in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, every guy that came out of the bullpen threw hard.
The Cardinals have that guy throwing 105 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, you see the catcher trying to catch it.
Yeah.
And he's almost playing defensive catcher back there, and he knows what's coming.
Well, this has to be something in the zone. You don't want to walk Hendricks with Zobrist on deck. And he got him, and that'll end the inning. Mac Williamson's going to lead things off. We'll welcome him back when he does. It's 1-0 Chicago. Game 1 of the Cubs and Giants in the 1989 NLCS. It was Will Clark solo home run off of Greg Maddux, and then Will wasn't really satisfied with that. He comes back in the 4th inning and hits a grand slam off of Maddux into the net here at Wrigley Field. Will the thrill. Always fun watching those highlights.
I think it was close to after that we started putting gloves over our mouths, right?
I think it was like the next day.
Yeah, because Will claimed he could read lips.
Yeah, Will stood next to Kevin Mitchell and said, "Yep, I know what he's going to do. He's going to throw a fastball in because I just read his lips." And Mitchell probably said, "Well, hey, the next time, can you read his lips when they go out there for me?" Well, goes, "Oh, he just said fastball in." Okay. A sweet swing.
Maddux always still had. He still would tell you what's coming. He just waited for you to look down, and then he'd tell his catcher where he wanted it.
Yep. Here's Mac Williamson. And he takes a called strike. 316, 3 home runs, 6 driven in. 0 for 3 lifetime against Hendricks, so he's seen him before. Tap foul. It's 0-2. Foul again. Tomlinson on deck. Got him. That's 3 strikeouts. And the hitter's Tomlinson.
Speaking of Maddux, that's Maddux-ish right there, where he can throw that fastball in the outside corner at 87, and he throws that 78 on that same spot about 2 inches further outside, forcing guys to swing at it.
It's a great call. Here's Tomlinson. And first pitch strike. Look out, Derek Holland. You never know what's going to happen if you're standing in that on-deck circle.
I think Holland just said the same thing. He threw his hands up at Tomlinson. Like, hey, you're supposed to swing it before it crosses the plate, not after.
I'm an American League guy. I'm not used to this. Got him.
Well, fans start looking for that old glove as our annual Junior Giants glove drive presented by Bank of America is scheduled for Saturday, June 2nd. Bring a glove or make a $10 donation and you'll receive a 60th anniversary pin. Or make a donation at juniorgiants.org and receive a Buster Posey bobblehead. Man,
it's a big deal that day. You know why? Because I'm in charge.
Oh, you're running it.
Yeah. Here's the Holland hits a high fly ball to right, but in the park. And that's going to end the inning. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball. Giants do not have a base runner. Top of the order for the Cubs coming up. San Francisco Giants history, and fans get to pick the most memorable. To vote for today's matchup, go to NBCSportsBayArea.com or on Twitter at NBCSGiants. Winner of the round will be announced on Giants Postgame Live. And now you can vote for your favorite moment between Game 2 of the 2014 NLDS against the Nationals. Pablo tied it. Petit with 6 shutout innings, and then Belt hit the home run in the 18th. And the other one will be Will Clark's home run, his first of his career, in his first at bat in the big leagues, and it came off of Nolan Ryan, and it happened in 1986. Here's Zobrist, who takes high. Zobrist scored the only run of the game when he opened up the bottom of the first with a base hit. Here he takes a strike. Hit a ground ball right between Longoria and Crawford. Hit it sharply. Good pitch. 1-2.
You see numbers like this off you as a pitcher, you tend to almost want to, you don't try to make up pitches that often, but in this situation, you're almost like, I'm going to just throw something completely weird here. If I don't have a cutter, I'm going to throw a cutter.
Okay. He got him. The other memory, remember the Will Clark home run, his first major league at bat, April 8th, 1986. We've had more Will Clark highlights now than we have Giants hitters highlights, and this one came in his first at bat. So, Game 2 of the 2014 NLDS, or Will Clark's home run in 1986. 1 out. Here's Almora. And Almora takes a strike.
Back in that day, you hit a homer like that, Will probably went up to the plate thinking he might have to ice down his ribs after a while.
Well, yeah,
those guys would just, you'd be that comfortable that early, they'll move you.
I know.
Or hit you.
I think he tells the story that this is hit into the gap. McCutchen got a good jump and he runs it down.
Nice totally redeemed himself from Houston right there.
Right there. Nice at bat. Nice play by McCutchen. I think Will said that he came back to the dugout. Chili Davis said, yeah, you're going to get it. But here's the nice play we're talking about. Taking extra bases away from.
Good route.
Almora.
Good jump. Those low line drives are really tough for some of these outfielders because they can't tell really how hard it's actually hit from out there. So for him to run that down like that, that was very impressive, but pretty standard for McCutchen.
There's a pitch down low. See, you do that and you get a street named after.
Yeah.
Line drive to left and a base hit for Brian. And you know what Brian's thinking.
Why couldn't I have done that first inning?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad he didn't. With guys like Brian, I'd rather give up hits when no one's on base than when they are on base. So right there, you can almost say, well, I won then too, because I kept you to a single.
Here's Rizzo. A little bit outside to Rizzo, who had a little bloop base hit to left field that knocked in a run, and on the hit, Williamson threw out Almora at home plate. Good pitch, a bit outside, 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0. Now the overshift is on. You've got Wilson Contreras, who's on deck. And a strike. Shocked that Rizzo took it, but he did. It's 3-1. 45 pitches. Right about where you want to be, and it really included an inning in the first that was very stressful. And the walk.
Those are sometimes frustrating walks for left-handed pitchers. You know Rizzo's struggling. He's probably taking a lot of times because he's trying to see pitches because he's not feeling all that good. And it's lefty on lefty. All advantage is to you with 2 outs, and you walk him. You're almost feeling like you're giving too much of a gift in a situation you don't need to give a gift to.
Contreras rolled out to Crawford in the first inning. Careful on that first pitch. On the ground to Crawford. Crawford. Side retired. Gives you an idea. Contreras moves pretty good. Top of the order coming up. Togo's Pretzel Rami. On this date 5 years ago, Angel Pagan, a 2-run walk-off inside the park home run in the 10th off of Rafael Betancourt. And here he comes. Giants beat the Rockies 6-5. It took Angel Pagan 14.7 seconds to go home to home.
My favorite thing about that entire scenario was Tim Flannery running back towards the dugout with his hands in the air. Yelling, "I'm selling the sizzle."
He was so excited. Another strike 1 and another strike 2. So right now Kyle Hendricks has got it going, folks. Hit well to left. Back is Happ. It is out of here. And that's home run number 5 from a guy that didn't have any last year. How about that?
And really been their best hitter all month long. Even in Houston, he had their best at bats. He's just seeing the ball good. He's putting good wood on the baseball. Took a fastball here that was inner half and hit it in the air. See right here, here's that fastball that just came inner half. Actually, changeup.
Yep.
He actually tried to throw a inside changeup and drop some head on it. As Kruko would say, let out some shaft.
He did, and here's
Homer.
Here's McCutchen. And a strike right back into the strike zone, and it's 0-1. McCutchen hit a ball well that Zobrist caught in front of the right field wall. It's hit foul. Nothing in 2.
Kind of a loud way to break up a no-hitter. It's pretty fun.
Yep.
You lost your no-hitter and your shutout. There's only one slight problem when you do that, though. The starter's right back in the windup. It's pretty comfortable for the windup.
Ouch.
Looked like he gave a little stinger on that last foul ball. It's a game of first, though, for Hernandez. That's the first time he's ever hit a homer on an 0-2 pitch.
Wow.
It's kind of good to see.
It is.
Guy getting pretty comfortable swinging, hitting homers and being convicted in his swing when he's got 2-strike count on him.
Yep. Good take. 1-2. Posey watching from the on-deck circle. Slowly hit. Got him. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, look at him. I mean, he loved it. He had cleats on. He almost slid into home with him. Look at him. Selling the sizzle, boys. I'm selling the sizzle. What excitement that man brought to the team. He was a third base coach that probably put as much, if not more, heart into what he did, getting guys around the bases and the guys actually running the bases.
Here's Posey. Russell takes one up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. That is one of those shots where you could see it 100 times and enjoy it every time.
And he wore cleats every game because he wanted to sprint around out there and be able to keep up with the guy when he sends him home. He told me one day he was going to slide into home plate, and he never did it. So
Posey down the right field line. It's going to drift into the seats.
He might need to come out of retirement just to prove me wrong that he would never do that. I said, "You're never going to do that." He said, "Watch me." He never did.
He knew when his last game was going to be.
He should have done it.
Yeah. One and two. Pull the string on Buster Posey.
And it would have been like heard around the world if you. I mean, his last game was Game 7 of the 2014 World Series. You know, you slide into home plate there with your guy.
Got him. So he comes back with a fastball, 5 strikeouts. And here's Belt. Belt hit a pop-up in the second inning. Cubs will overshift on Belt. I'll say this though, because he has shown that he will lay down a bunt. He's gotten that third baseman, and not just the Cubs, but all teams, until he gets 2 strikes on him. Belt on the ground and a one hopper to Rizzo, and that'll end the inning. So Hernandez ties the game up. It's his 5th of the year. He's up in the bleachers here at Wrigley Field. It's bye-bye baby, and it's a 1-1 ball game. We'll be back.
Event or convention. Get started by contacting the Santa Clara Convention and Visitors Bureau at santaclara.org/meetings.
Here in Chicago, the home run by Gorkis Hernandez has tied things up. And it'll be Baez, Happ, and Russell to face Derek Holland. And Crawford on the bare hand.
Why not?
Got him!
Why not?
And
Now they're just showing off.
you know what? That's a great way to put it. Longoria to Crawford to Belt, who digs out a tough one hopper. And this is not something you practice at home, but it is something that the Giants infielders like to be creative, and there's a creative play right there. Baez can't believe it. He's still not in the dugout yet.
He's pouting.
Yeah, that's a pout walk. And the pitch to Happ is outside. Happ struck out in his only other at bat, and that came in the 2nd inning. But like I said, he swings hard, and on this 2-1 pitch, you got to be careful. And he takes a strike, 2-1. Another look.
I mean, it's almost like Longoria was like, hey, check this out. Flicked it to him.
Tap foul, 2-2.
Crawford made it look easy right there, but the athleticism to be able to do that and to stay focused the entire time and not just assume Longoria was going to get it, but to stay focused all the way through that. Crawford makes a lot of things look really easy. They're very, very difficult.
I don't think there's any doubt that when Crawford saw that ball carrying to him, he was like, this is going to be great. I can't wait now. Got him. So Happ strikes out for the 2nd time. And here's Russell. So is this going to help out your pitcher a little bit? Yes.
Yeah, that'll give you some confidence.
I mean, that's a guy that can run, that is leading off an inning. Russell rolled one up the middle for a base hit in the second. It's a 1-1 game here in the fourth. There's a good pitch. I don't want this to sound like a complaint, but every once in a while, does it feel like the heat's on in this booth?
Yeah.
Like, I keep looking underneath.
You don't have to say it. I don't want to make it sound. No, it's an honest complaint. It's hot in here.
It's like a little breeze in here wouldn't be a bad thing. Buster Posey in Belt, and Belt's going to give way to Buster Posey, who puts it away to end the inning. And Holland says, "Don't worry about it. I got your helmet." 1-1 ball game.
Brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Enjoy a Big Wave Golden Ale or Longboard Lager today.
It's a 1-1 ball game. You see the folks outside the ballpark, and look, they're developing this whole area. And you wouldn't recognize it if you haven't been here in a year or so. There's a hotel now attached to the ballpark. There's a building now across the street where the old bars used to be. That are going to be condos.
Beautiful condos too.
So, and the new scoreboards here are very informative, very clear, and they've still maintained the look of an old ballpark, which is great. Here's Longoria, and again a first pitch strike. Longoria struck out in the second. He hits one to left, but it's in the park to Happ. 1 out. Warriors playoff Central. Warriors and Rockets game 6 tomorrow at 4:30. That's when you'll see Warriors playoff Central right here on NBC Sports Bay Area, and you can stick with the team you've watched all season long. Yeah, the Warriors now have to play, and what I'm saying, it'll be a couple of elimination games.
These are loser out.
Oh, it always brings out the best in a team, doesn't it? On the ground sharply, but right at Rizzo. 2 outs. 2012, the Giants played in 6 elimination games. And I can tell you that as a broadcaster, they're stressful. I can imagine as a player, and you were there, stressful. And I also believe that it will bring out the best of you.
Backs against the wall for a lot of athletes. That just seems to almost hone in their focus. Pitchers get better. Hitters start taking pitches that they usually normally swing at if they don't like it. At bats get, I mean, each at bat seems like it's on the line. I mean, it's high stress. I mean, if you,
6 elimination games.
There was some gray hairs, I think, from everybody after that one.
3 in Cincinnati and 3 in Cincinnati, then 1 in St. Louis and 2 at home against the Cardinals.
But we thank Detroit for just making it easy on us, rolling over and just giving us 4.
Big chopper, Russell. And Williamson is out to end the inning. So Derek Holland back out. He remains 1-1. We're going to talk about former Giant, the late Monty Irvin. Served in the U.S. military in World War II as an engineer, deployed on the secondary line during the Battle of the Bulge. Played 7 seasons with the Giants, 1 season here in Chicago, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1973. And his number 20 is retired by the Giants, and they did that in 2010 as Hendricks takes a called strike. Gentlemen. A 100% gentleman, Monty Irvin. This hits off of the mound and caroms right to Tomlinson for out number 1. And here's Zobrist. Zobrist is singled and scored, and he struck out in the 3rd. Beautiful view of Wrigley Field. And the pitch is down low. By the way, it is confirmed that underneath this area that we're working, the heat is on.
Yeah, we put our hands down there.
Yeah. There's a called strike.
And your shins of your pants are sweating.
Yes. It's a bit uncomfortable, but my head is fine. There's a swing and a tapper foul. It's 1-2. And like we said earlier, look, we're not. This is a great view And this area, the press box area, is the last of the renovations. Not the first, the last. So, and maybe I'll make a little note.
They work on the heating
before
system.
it gets to July. Maybe turn off the heat. Zobrist wraps this one. Gorkis Hernandez got a good jump. 2 down.
Stream the Giants on the go. Great news, Giants fans. This season, once again, you can stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Giants games streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app.
So here's Almora, who has singled. And then he hit a ball that was headed to the gap, only to have Andrew McCutchen track it down in right center field. And he falls behind 2 balls and no strikes. Kind of a, you're the one who told me about it right before this game started. Just an interesting note out of Boston about the Red Sox. This is fouled out of play, designating Hanley Ramirez for assignment. So a guy that really has played every day since he put on a Red Sox uniform, they're going to send him away.
Bold move too. I mean, they're getting Pedroia back, but I mean, it's not like he's been hitting $180.
Yeah.
Is it 265 or whatever?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't always know what's going on behind the scenes over there, though.
Out of play, 2-2. Yep.
You know, for whatever reason, they thought they would go ahead and, because they're eating some money on that.
Yes, they are. And the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. And inside. 3-2.
But speaking of money, how about that ATM machine?
Yeah, right by the clubhouse.
I mean, is that a message or what?
Between the clubhouse and the Giants dugout, there was an ATM machine. I took a picture of you getting out some, or faking like you were getting out some cash, and you put it on your Instagram, and it was like, by the dugout to Longoria, and then you had the nerve to ask me for some cash for lunch. Like, oh, really? 1-1 ball game. Saturday the 2nd, the first 20,000 fans, they're going to receive a retro fanny pack courtesy of Coca-Cola and the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The first 20,000 fans will also receive a Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk all-day rides ticket. sfgiants.com. Fanny pack tickets. Let's go. Here's Tomlinson. A 1-1 ball game as Tomlinson takes high. Tomlinson struck out looking in the 3rd. And a line drive right at Russell. You do everything right and you get nothing. And here's Derek Holland. Hendricks has not been in the stretch one time in this game. And very close though with the hard shot that Tomlinson just hit. So here's Holland. Holland hit a fly ball to right. And he takes a called strike. Oh, and 2. Trying to get Holland to fish. He backed off. It's a ball and 2 strikes. And really the pitch count very low for Kyle Hendricks. And he gets Holland swinging. And here's the only man that has gotten a hit for the Giants. And that's Gorkis Hernandez. His home run was his 5th of the year.
A little changeup that ran back down into his barrel. Today, that's not coming back today.
And another first pitch strike. Check swing. Look out. It's 0-2. Andrew McCutchen to follow. We're in the 6th inning in a well played game. And this is going to be a base hit. Gorkis is 2 for 2. Or make that 2 for 3.
Looked like that ball had quite a bit of topspin on it, didn't it?
Yep.
Like it almost jumped right by. Hendricks right here. Whatever it was. Here's the pitch. Fastball, and he just topped it right off that dirt, and that ball just jumped right past Hendricks. That kind of topspin, your infielders aren't getting to that ball. Ball's going to run right through the infield. Stretch.
Here's McCutchen. A deep fly ball to right. And a ground ball to short. And he misses on the first pitch, which is unusual, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Two and 0.
You throw from the windup the entire game, and the first time you're in the stretch is in the 6th inning. You can, hitters almost want to start taking pitches because it's going to change. All of a sudden that release point's a hair different, and you saw those sinkers right there were just down more than they've been. And sometimes you can take advantage of a pitcher making a mistake.
3-0. So right now,
I don't think he's had a 3-0 count the whole game, has he?
No, he hasn't. So maybe being in the stretch is an issue. And we'll see if McCutchen has the green light or not. No, it's 3-1. Big gap between Rizzo and Baez. Rookies with a couple of steals on the year. Three and two, and now Hernandez will take off.
I think McCutcheon's looking for that 3-0 fastball that was center cut right here.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna. I think it's gonna be loud if he throws it there.
So Hernandez is going to go, and Posey's going to hit.
That's a great take right there. That was right on the
know
outside corner changeup that was inches down.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That was a hard pitch to lay off of.
I mean, 3-2 count.
Ooh.
I don't even know how you lay off that. That ball was a strike for a really long time right there. And the way that luck that the Giants have had lately, you know, with some of these calls, I'm surprised they didn't get rung up on that one.
There's Posey. He's flied out and struck out. He's now his third at bat against Hendricks, and he'll take this one with Hendricks pitching out of the stretch. Buster lately has not been afraid to get after that first pitch. Not even close. 1 ball and no strikes, and now a mound visit from Contreras. I'm just guessing that this number now of mound visits, where you can only make 6 in a game, Contreras had a lot to do with that rule. Because he went out all the time, especially in postseason.
And then the 2 World Series teams last year, it was like, I mean, it was like after every, it was like standard trip out there.
So here's the 1-0 to Posey. Up the middle. Russell's got it. He will shovel it to Baez, and that'll end the inning. Giants trying to pair. 1-1. Look ahead to the starting pitchers in tomorrow's game. It'll be Chris Stratton against Jose Quintana. And you look at this, and all their numbers are very close, including hits and walks and strikeouts and whip. However, the one main difference is one's a right-hander and one's a lefty. And here it's going to be Chris Bryant. Bryant singled in the 3rd inning. A 1-1 ball game. And Bryant takes a strike. Cued. Foul also just roaming around the internet. Notice that the Pirates have designated or offend George Cantos.
That's a little bit of a shocker.
It is.
He'll get a job.
Yeah, he will. Absolutely. Rizzo on deck. Hit to left. Williamson's going to have to come in, but it's going to be Crawford who's going to go out, and Crawford makes the catch. You see that swing, and you see the area that ball went into, and it may be that Chris Bryant is thinking, I just missed that one.
Yeah, that's kind of almost like a homer swing from him. He golfs balls like that a lot. He caught that one off the end of the bat a little bit.
Here's Anthony Rizzo. Singled in a run in the 1st and then drew a walk in the 3rd. Got that Reggie Jackson on that first swing, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Might have been looking for something off speed, and he dropped down that back knee and let it fly, and he's behind in the count. -2. This was a hit that knocked in the first run, but watch the back runner. That's Almora, and watch the throw by Mac Williamson. And that's called
not even close.
Dead meat. Tapped to Longoria, and although you might think that that's a 4-3, it's not. That's a 5-3. And here's Wilson Contreras.
They should have a special statistic for that, like S53, shift 5-3.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, if you're going to hand your scorecard to somebody who wasn't at the game, and they're going to try to recreate the game just by looking at the scorecard, then you would have to do that.
Yeah, because you'd be wrong. It wasn't 4-3.
It wasn't a grounder to 3rd.
It's a grounder to 2nd, thrown out by the 3rd baseman.
Yeah. Explain that to someone who doesn't know the game. I mean, it's not an easy game to pick up as it is, as there's a strike to Contreras. He's bounced out twice to Brandon Crawford. If you're Crawford, you think you're going to get another one. And hold up, nothing in 2. What was that? Changeup?
Was a changeup. Yep. Holland's doing a really good job just mixing his pitches in. He does it. He throws a lot of different pitches at you, mixes it up all the time anyway, yet it seems like his command of his pitches and his ability to keep them off balance and throw these changeups in locations not up but down, and it's kind of been what's been snake biting him a little bit throughout the years. I feel like his changeup has been kind of elevated, so when he goes to slow a guy down, they run into it, and damage has been done because of it.
Contreras gets tired of waiting and steps out.
Can even see by that fastball right there, You know, they were trying to do that to Houston the last couple games, and guys kept missing over the plate with that fastball in. But when Buster wants it in, Holland's able to go in with that fastball, which is going to set up a lot of the plate.
Yeah, he didn't want it in for a strike. And he taps this one foul.
There it is.
That's right. Now, right there, if you see that little sign on the wall, is the entrance to the dugout.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like they want you to tip the clubbies and make sure you do it. That or there's got some BP bets
Something's
going on
there.
But you're right, though. Problem is I did actually have my ATM card like halfway in that slot right there, and then I still asked you for money for lunch.
Well, it was totally just for the photo op. Clearly you didn't pull out any cash. It's 3-2 to Contreras in a 1-1 game.
Hey, veterans pay. That's what you're right.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Foul back, a healthy rip.
That's the second time this at bat that Contreras has actually turned around and asked if Buster's okay because he hit him with his backswing. I'm thinking you can't do it 3 times.
No.
He's going to start getting insulted. Here it is right here. He swings and he knocks the glove right off Buster's hand.
And this time Buster wins the battle, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, Belt, Longoria, Crawford, and Williamson. It's 1-1. Of course, your local Toyota dealer. It's been a great start for Holland and also a great start for Hendricks. They've been really good. Gorkis Hernandez is 2 for 3, and his home run, his 5th of the year, tied the game up in the 4th. Here's Belt. Belt way out in front. It's no balls and a strike. Belt has popped out, and he hit a 1-hopper to Anthony Rizzo at first. Belt dribbles it foul. It's 0-2. So Hendricks doing what he does. He just keeps you off balance with pinpoint control. The 0-2. Now 1-hopper.
Ooh, good scud right there. Huh?
Yeah, and if you're a catcher, right, with 2 strikes on the hitter, you got to block it.
Oh, that's quality. I mean, the mark in the dirt, that is impressive. I'm okay with that pitch. Look at that thing. Oh. Hockey goalie.
I mean, it's a good example of how with a sinker baller, the Cubs have really wetted down that area in front of home plate.
Yeah, a lot of teams will soften up that dirt for their guys because they know they're going to get a lot of balls hit right there in front of home plate. And they don't want it bouncing over the infielders' heads. They like that. It kills the speed off of it when you hit it in the ground. Allows your infielders to scoop those up. And you'll see a lot of teams, if they've got sinker ballers starting that day, or if they have a steady amount of sinker ballers on the team, they'll soften up that dirt up there.
2-2 to Belt. Belt hits a high drive to right. Zobra's back at the wall. He makes the catch. And how did that stay in?
I have no idea. I mean, your call, I actually almost put a home run down just from your call.
Well, in this day, and we watch batting practice, anything like this with something behind it was gone. Although, look,
I mean, I think Belt thought he had it too on a day like this. I mean, that ball was. How did it not get stuck in the net? I mean, I couldn't have missed that net by much. He's saying thank you.
Yeah. That had basket written all over it.
Oh.
Here's Longoria. And tight to Longoria. He almost ran into it.
Looking at the flags, though, the wind is blowing in from right a little bit more now than it was at the beginning of the game. That's why. Yeah, that's it.
No, I guarantee you that Hendricks thought it was gone. One ball and one strike.
With the heaters they have inside here, the wind right now is feeling pretty good, though.
Yeah, bring it on, baby. Outside corner, 1-2. Tell me if Hendricks didn't think that this was out.
He thought it was out. He's like, oof. Oof, says.
Bryant to his left. So 2 balls hit hard. Nothing to show for it. Nice play. 2 down. And here's Crawford.
Well, ironic for Madden. His new above average third baseman throwing out his old above average third baseman.
There you go. Crawford is rolled out twice. Mac Williamson is on deck. Two and 0. Here's where, if you're Crawford, look for something middle in and ambush it. Two and 1.
Shows he knows how to pitch. Contreras wanted to change up right there, and he shook to that fastball in. He saw something Contreras didn't.
.82 pitches now for Kyle Hendricks here in the 7th. So Big Mac is going to get a chance to hit. Well, join us and the Giants and Will Clark on Friday, June 1st, Autism Awareness Night. You get a Will Clark bobblehead with your package and a ticket to see the Giants and the Phillies. sfgiants.com/special events.
Shout out to Madison Bumgarner, huh? He's going to go rehab start here on Saturday.
I think he does, yeah.
He's really bored today. He's corrected me 5 times. So I want to apologize. The pitch last inning was a curveball, not a changeup from Holland.
Hey, it's nice to know someone is keeping an eye out for you. And now we know who it is. And a quick 0-2 to Mac Williamson. Oh, he's corrected me a few times too. No balls and 2 strikes. And Williamson is going to take that pitch. But, you know, there's always a way to get back at a guy like Bumgarner, and I'll only repeat what you said to me during the inning break, is that the injury that he received, if you had that injury, you'd be back by now.
I would. I would. You're right. I would have toughed that one out.
The pitch in the dirt, a nice block again. It's 2-2.
Bum. It's going to be a treat to have him back, huh?
I do miss that guy. We see him, but I miss him in action. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Got him, and that'll end the inning. It'll be Javier Baez to lead things off.
You and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Here in Chicago, a 1-1 ball game. Is Derek Holland about to face Baez, Happ, and Russell. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Baez is 0 for 2. His last at bat, he hit a sharp ground ball, caromed off of Longoria to Crawford, who made a barehanded stab and threw in the dirt to Belt. And he takes the pitch down and in. A ball and a strike. Baez is, I mean, he's dangerous. He's got 11 home runs. And he's got 38 runs batted in. So you know that he's going to swing for it. In tight, it's 2-1. 86 pitches on this very warm Friday afternoon. Holland now trying to get on the same page with Buster Posey. 2-2. Kind of a strange schedule. A Friday day game and then a Saturday night game and a Sunday night game. And I get it. The Sunday night game is nationally televised, and so is the Saturday night game. But I can't remember the last time I did a Friday afternoon game.
Yeah.
Two pitch coming up to Baez, and it hit him. So Baez gets hit.
I don't think he's feeling real good. His teammates are yelling, just don't rub it. Don't rub it. He stayed in on him the whole at bat right there, and he kind of got in again. He just came in a little too much and caught that elbow right in the backside of that elbow too. The pad isn't there. Oof.
Well, he can run. He's got 6 steals. So you got to be aware that you have to hold him tight. And also the first time for Holland out of the stretch since the 3rd inning. Baez with a healthy lead, and Holland will throw over.
Kind of the game plan that entire at bat was in, though. He threw fastballs, changeups, curveball, everything was in. Back foot. He just did not want him getting extended.
There's a strike to Ian Happ, who struck out twice in this game. See Will Smith in the bullpen. And the only way we can tell anybody's throwing to the bullpen is by that camera, because they're underneath the bleachers. And that fastball is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. The part of this ballpark for a million years was the bullpens were down the line, just like at AT&T Park.
Except you had to actually sit out there.
Yeah, without covering. And they're going to say Happ went around. 1-2.
We'd always wear the bullpen guys out because you're technically supposed to have the same scenario on both sides, and we'd go down there and sit on a wood bench. Back's killing us. We're freezing. A lot of times at night. You look down there and they've got padded bench with heaters.
Yeah.
Individualized heaters. They couldn't even send us one.
Home field advantage. It's 2-2.
In a game like this, it's hot, sweating. They had a little, I think they even had like a little covering thing for them.
They did. 2-2. And a better move by Holland, but Baez back easily. Holland ready. Runner goes in tight. Posey's throw not in time.
I think he took this one on Holland, though. I think Buster came up firing pretty good, but looks like he had a pretty decent jump. Second he picked his foot up, he just took off running. But that's the coin flip, I think, with left-handed starters especially, is the runner he doesn't really know, and he's just banking on the fact that you're not going to go to first base in that count, and he's just going. He's either getting picked off or he's going to be safe, but he's leaving the second that foot gets picked up, and guessed right.
Two on.
Probably going to bring a manager out to the mound.
And that's it. So it's going to be Will Smith. At least that's who it will be. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. Smith coming in.
San Francisco Giants may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
A 1-1 ball game, but activity for the Cubs here in the home half of the seventh. A hit batter and a walk, and now it's Will Smith to try to calm things down.
Well, this is the man Bochy wants out there. Ever since he's come back, he's done the job. He's getting high strikeouts and big punch out situations. He's keeping the ball on the ground. He's throwing good pitches, good strikes in the zone, good curveball. So he has the guy that he needs out there right now to help Holland out of a jam.
So Russell's 1 for 2. And he shows bunt. And maybe Smith did that to see if Russell was going to show bunt. And maybe once Russell saw Smith do it, he did. So you still don't know for sure. Low. Belt charging. Longoria kind of has to hang around. Giants did not put on any type of a wheel play. So it's been a while since Russell had a sacrifice bunt.
3 years ago? See if he's any good at it.
Smith needs to throw a strike. That's what he needs to do.
See, these are the kind of things the pitchers need to know about when they get brought in. Hey, just to let you know, he hasn't bunted 3 years, and if he tries to bunt,
throw a strike.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. He might pop it up for you. Problem is now you're not guaranteed a bunt right here, 2-0.
And he gets a strike, maybe a gift. Belt still coming in at first. And Smith will chase him back one more time.
He didn't square the bunt there. So I don't know if he was just able to not show early.
Bunts it, and it's a great bunt. And Belt will make the play.
Well, that's a textbook bunt right there. You can't probably do any better job than that.
You cannot.
You'll see it. Man, right off the end of the bat. See his head's down on the bat. Sees it, puts it off the end of the bat, puts it right down the first baseline, deadens it enough to just maybe trickle up there and guarantee a sac bunt gonna work. That was textbook.
So here's La Stella as a pinch hitter and a left-handed hitter, and now the Giants draw the infield in.
Confused on that entire call.
On bunting to get to a left-handed hitter, or this
missed curveball right down the middle for a strike,
which was a strike. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, as an umpire, I'm sorry, but how are you not seeing that?
Kind of changes the whole at bat, doesn't it?
Yeah, because now you're 2-0. Now you're pitching 1-0. Now you're trying to double up because you're wanting to show the umpire, no, that's a strike. Here, I'll throw it again for you. Now I did just barely miss out of the zone. That is a ball, but now I'm 2-0, putting myself in a hitter's count.
Yes, La Stella's been good, and clearly the manager's got a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, going lefty on lefty. He did have an open bag, so you want to pitch now to keep runs from scoring, and a lot of times what that situation is 2-0, 3-0. If I'm not feeling good on this hitter, I'm not going to give him anything to beat me. Like, I've got an open bag. I now have a double play ball in the scenario. We have two pitchers coming in or warming up to come in the game. Both can create double plays. You have all those things going on in your head as a reliever when you have these situations come into play, and you have to be smart to know when to pitch to a guy, when not to pitch to a guy, knowing that you can trust your bullpen to get the job done if need be.
So a total rally for free here in the seventh. Baez was hit by a pitch. Happ walked. Russell the sacrifice bunt. La Stella walks. And Zobrist, who's 2 for 3 lifetime off of Will Smith, is the hitter. Now you're looking for a ground ball. Instead, down the left field line. 2 runs are going to score. Zobrist doesn't waste any time. It's 3-1.
Is the pitch. Buster wanted this curveball down, and he threw it up over the middle. He was looking for that curveball that he probably threw La Stella first pitch, and he just kind of flipped it up there and hung it. Zobrist probably beating a smart enough hitter right there. He probably thinking, I'm not getting a fastball first pitch right here. I'm going to get something else, and threw it up in the air where he could hit it. Just hung in the air way too long.
Smith departs. We got a new pitcher coming in. It's 3-1.
The NBC Sports Bay Area All-Star Teachers Program, recognizing teachers that make a difference. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Visit NBCSportsBayArea.com and vote for your All-Star teacher.
So Guerin gets the task of facing Albert Almora.
Well, he's brought in to get ground balls, and they need a ground ball right here. They got to hold this runner at third, and you either got to punch him out or strike or get a ground ball out to keep the ball in the infield. They're probably going to play infield in. He does have a base open, but you have a pretty dangerous hitter behind this man. I don't know if you want to face bases loaded.
So infield in. Almora is 1 for 3. And a strike. And a bunt, foul. It's not a squeeze. It's 0-2. So Longoria, Crawford, Tomlinson, Belt all in. Now trying to limit the damage. It's a 2-run lead for the Cubs. Got it.
Exactly what we're trying to do, right? Giants trying to get a strikeout right there, or keep the ball in the infield. And strikeout was exactly what he got. Now you can play your infield regular depth. Still have a base open. Don't have to give in if you're in an unfavorable count right here.
And a strike. Such an odd look as you see the third base coach is almost in the on-deck circle. Gives you an idea how close the foul lines are to the dugouts. base hit. And it's going to knock in a pair. So Bryant comes through. And now it's a 4-run 7th inning.
See this pitch, Buster wanted that slider away, and it came right back to the middle of the plate.
And hit it towards the end of the bat, but hey, got to give him credit, put it in play.
2 outs, everybody's running on contact. It's just that's a tough situation. Not hit real hard, so you know everybody's got a jump on you with the contact, and it's not hit real hard, so you can't hold anybody up. They're running, and they have no shot. 2 runs in.
So a hit batter and 2 walks, and they all score. And the pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes. This is the 8th Cubs hitter to hit here in the 7th. And that's foul. Kutchel will end up digging it out. For the Giants in the 8th inning, they'll have Tomlinson, and then a pinch hitter, and then Gorkis Hernandez. On a day like today, you keep it close enough where you can have a shot. You got 6 more outs in this game. Balls and a strike. Derek Holland's line score is not going to be that impressive, but I thought he threw the ball really well today. I think everybody did.
Yeah, I thought overall stuff wise that was the best that he's had all year.
Yep. Guerin got the big strikeout with 1 out to Almora. But then Bryant got the big hit off of Guerin with 2 outs to knock in a pair. Three and 2. Now Bryant will take off. And the walk. And here's Wilson Contreras.
That's how big innings happen. Usually they're not happening because of a bunch of hits. Most of the time the big innings happen. That's the 3rd walk. We have with the hit by pitch, that's your 4th free pass that you've issued, not allowing a defense to play behind you.
A good defense.
A good defense, yeah. And that's usually why innings start to unravel on you, is you just aren't throwing strikes anymore.
So Bryant's at second. Rizzo's at first. It's 5-1 Chicago. And another strike. It's 0-2. One inning the Giants are trying to avoid the big inning. And the Cubs have come up with it here in the 7th. One and two. No swing. 28 minutes ago, Baez was hit by a pitch to open up the inning. Two balls, two strikes. Shallow right field. You see the wind pushing this one back in, and that'll end the inning. Damage done. Cubs lead 5-1.
For a chance at $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. New pitcher in the ball game for the Cubs. In the top of the 8th, and when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Again, top of the 8th, 5-1. Cubs over Giants. And there he is, Carl Edwards Jr. His record 2-1, a 3.27 ERA, 22 innings pitched, 37 strikeouts. It's kind of a slinger, comes at you, throws everything at you, goes hard. Here comes the guy now throwing over 95 after they face the guy throwing 87. Get the foot down early.
And hang in there. And if you have to take them for the team, Much easier said than done. Two balls and one strike. Two and two. Got him. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Here's Blanco. So Blanco's going to hit. And he fouls this one into the glove of Contreras. Well, Jeremy's right. Now as a hitter, you have to get it started a little earlier. And he bunts it foul. Or maybe he didn't foul it at all. And they called it a strike on the attempt, and it's 0-2. Little jam shot, and Bryant had the spin on that ball kicked back to him, and he makes the play. And that'll bring up Hernandez. Giants have 2 hits in the game, and Gorkis Hernandez has both of them.
Up to 299 on his batting average. Together a pretty good year. Half.
Yep. Yep, he's letting the manager know he wants to play all the time. And he may get that shot. In tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Not close. His home run in the 4th inning tied the game.
That was a good piece of hitting.
Two and two.
I don't think he saw that pitch the same way as he saw the home run pitch.
I don't either.
It's their last swing. I mean, that he throws elbows, he throws arms, he throws legs, and he kind of slings it. And that ball had a little cut there at the end too, and all at 95 miles an hour. So you're going to get through the inning.
2 strikeouts for Edwards. It's 5-1 Chicago. Playoff Central. This will be Game 6 tomorrow. It's going to start at 4:30 on NBC Sports Bay Area, and you can stick with all the guys all season long. It's at 4:30 tomorrow. It's 5-1 Chicago. Strickland on the mound when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. So a little maintenance for Mr. Strickland.
Yeah, he didn't get the pitch in Houston, and you take too much time off, you just don't feel as good. And Strick, for me, is the kind of guy that needs to be out there and working and his timing and keeping himself sharp, because when you're gonna need him, it's always a close situation, and you don't need him not feeling froggy out there.
Here's Baez, who opened up the 7th. He got hit on the elbow. He eventually scored.
Strick's become a different pitcher this year. He's starting to actually kind of double and triple up on his breaking ball. He's not letting guys just sit on his heater. He's done a really good job of just making adjustments to the league these last few years.
Well, I do believe at his age and at his point now in time in the big leagues, he probably had to do that, right?
Yeah, you have to. They've seen you enough now where they have a game plan. You need to change up that game plan and give yourself a couple years where they're trying to figure you out before you have to redo everything.
Crawford slips a little bit. 1 out.
Especially with all the scouting reports and all the analysis and all the numbers and all the, hey, look, this is when he throws these pitches. This is the spin rate on this pitch. And he throws like all these different things coming into play now that the hitters have at their disposal to read you and understand you. You almost have to, it could be every half, have to come up with something else or add something or tinker with something just to keep these hitters off balance against you.
Here's Happ, who takes a low. Happ, after Baez got hit, drew a walk, and then he eventually scored. The Cubs scored 4 runs in that 7th inning on only 2 hits. Two balls and no strikes. And at the knees. Addison Russell on deck. No overshift, but Crawford playing nearly behind the bag at second. Through Posey 3-1. $41,177 here at the park. And another walk for Happ. So Russell comes up. He actually had an important at bat in the 7th inning. He had a sacrifice bunt. He will not be bunting this time around. Hayward is on deck. And it's low.
This is part of the cobwebs that start to grow a little bit when you get too much time off. He's had a couple off days. Didn't pitch in Houston. he gets side to side at times. He starts to yank a lot of balls outside rather than kind of getting that rhythm, and that's kind of something he's knocking off right now.
And it's not just that. Off day Monday, off day Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of off days. He said he warmed up in Houston one time, but it's not competitive. That's not getting in there facing hitters, have a little bit of the adrenaline of the game. And a lot of these back end guys work better when they throw consistently. They don't like to take too much time off.
Runner goes. Posey's throw. And it may have hit Happ. It'll be a stolen base for Happ, his third of the year.
Stolen base. He puts it right on the money, but it looked like Tomlinson just missed it, and it hit him, didn't it? Yeah, it hit him. He just missed the catch, and
he whiffed.
Yeah, I think he did too. Probably saw freight train coming in at second base on him right there.
Actually, really another stolen base where Buster did not have much of a shot. Strickland, you can tell just by the way he's getting the ball back from Buster Posey that he's not very happy. And a base hit. Belt's going to cut it off. Coming in to score is Happ. And Russell with an RBI single. Really count leverage for Russell, and another great example of how it doesn't matter how hard you throw if it's in a good location.
Yeah, it was actually
pitch.
Below the zone. Is just down the middle, and he went with it right up the middle. Good piece of hitting by Russell, but again, it's that walk, man. Those free passes have been scoring on the Giants today.
Indeed they have. And
I think almost every one of them, right? Except for one or two.
Yep. Here's Hayward. Hayward takes a strike.
And when you're side to side like that and you haven't been able to throw any of your secondary pitches because you're trying to get that fastball over the plate, it makes that pitch a lot more hittable to a hitter, because he's zoned in so much on, I'm not going to swing at anything unless it's right down the middle right now against this guy. So he can actually take that ball down the middle down, and he's actually geared up for it rather than he's not second guessing anything. He's got to focus totally in that spot. And that's what makes pitching behind in the count so tough.
And it isn't so much that you're sitting on location, you're sitting on velocity. And that if it happens to be in a decent area, if you're on the fastball. Strickland's got it. 101 to Crawford, and Crawford to Belt, and that's going to end the inning. Ninth inning coming up. Our next televised game on NBC Sports Bay Area. Pregame live is going to start at 3. We'll have the game for you at 4 o'clock. And of course, you can also stream live on the NBC Sports app. So we'll be in Denver on Monday, and we want you to join us. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. Who we got?
Strop, 3-0, 135, 20 innings pitched, 19 Ks, just 4 walks. And I cannot emphasize that enough. When a reliever's coming in, he's putting up innings, strikeouts, and limited walks. You're going to see low ERAs a lot of times.
Well, he gets McCutchen to wave at the first pitch. McCutchen is 0 for 2 with a walk. Buster Posey on deck. And McCutchen gone on 3 pitches. And here's Posey. Buster's 0 for 3. And he takes a pitch wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Hit on the ground is short. And Russell will throw him out. So 2 outs, and here's Belt. Notice that we talked about the next broadcast locally would be on Monday. The next 2 games will be televised nationally, which means that we can kick you out of town.
Yeah. My record right now has not been that good, so it's probably time for me to leave for a few.
Well, it'll get better. We will hear from you next when?
I think we don't play the Central, or the Giants don't play the Central till end of August, September. Fans get a good break from me.
Okay.
You know, a couple months.
1-1 to Belt. Belt shows bunt. Russell doesn't even move. And it's 2-1. It is a gift of a hit if you can just push it to the third baseman.
I mean, it's a guaranteed hit.
It is if you can do it. Guy throwing 95, it's still hard to do.
If you learn to push bunt, it's a double. You're in scoring position.
Three and 1 to Belt. Belt hits a little flare, and he's got a hit.
Or you can just do that.
Yeah. Give Longoria a shot. Longoria is 0 for 3. Bryant went to his left and made a nice play and took a hit away from Longoria in the 7th. Belt's going to go, and there's a pitch down low.
I always hated that as a pitcher, where like you played behind and said let him have the bag. There were so many times I would give up a jam shot next at bat, and it's a run scores. You know, you're just frustrated. You just gave it to him.
1 ball and 1 strike. On the ground, and that's exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Hayward's going to throw home. It's not going to matter.
I mean, you see Strobe, he didn't even cover home plate. He just stood over there. He's like, I'll go to first, and then nope.
Yeah, he just took a long look into the dugout.
Yeah. Yeah, right here, and then he's like, you've got to be kidding me. Yep, he's super mad because he's like, I just got beat right there.
And the manager's going to take you out.
And then the manager takes me out. Not at all happy if I'm him in this situation.
Yeah, a little pat on the back. Nice job. Take it on in. We're going to take a break at 6-2. And the new pitcher is Brian Dunsing. I guess the matchup is to face Crawford, right?
Has to be. I'm just confused on the whole pitching change. But that's Madden baseball right there. He's got a rhyme and a reason probably, but
Sure he does.
none that we understand.
And I'm sure we'll hear about it. And now what's going to thrill Affelt is Longoria now standing at second.
Just rub it in. Just let him have another one. Cannot wait. Thank you. This is awesome. Crawford smelling RBIs. Why not? That's right. Ooh.
He's got a 10-game hitting streak on the line. It's 2-0. What do you think Strope is thinking? It's his run out at second base.
Just let him have that one too. Why not?
Out of play. The worst place when that happens is Denver. Because it is almost pretty automatic that if you're in a really lopsided game, it's just runs are going to just be tacked on.
It's almost like they can feel it. You just know, you like, just jam myself, and the ball will just carry over the infield for a knock.
Out of play. It's 2-2. So you see Dunsing was fastball around 91, 92. Our rally cap faithful in the bleachers. Hang in there, fellas. See Mac Williamson getting it back, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think Bochy would like to see Mac Williamson getting that bat.
Three and 2. And Crawford stays alive, going right at him. 3-2. This is a good battle.
It is. But like I was saying earlier, that's what good hitters and locked-in hitters do, is they take those balls that they can't handle or do anything with, and they can literally foul them off, hoping he makes a mistake in the middle. Exactly what Crawford's doing. He's just taking balls that he can't handle. He knows he can't do anything with it, so I'm just going to hope he makes a mistake right here.
I'll say this, the crowds at Wrigley Field, they don't leave early.
They don't. They keep the energy going the whole 9 innings.
And I know they have traffic in Chicago. I was in it yesterday, so nobody here is leaving to beat the traffic.
No.
See what Crawford's thinking. He's going to throw me fastballs. This is just challenge time.
Yep. Hopefully one too many. Yeah. See what happens.
And we will see Mac Williamson hit. And we'll see Joe Madden again.
Why not? Go get him, Joe. Yay.
So Big Mac Williamson will hit for the 4th time. It's 6-2. We'll be back. Joe Madden thrilled here in the 9th. He's had a chance to manage a little bit. And he brings in his closer. And that's who it is right there.
Brandon Morrow, 10 for 11, 1.06 ERA. And if you see the 0 home runs allowed, it's not only just this year, but his last 68 innings pitched, he has not allowed a homer. So he's due.
Perfect guy for Mac Williamson to face here in the 9th. With Longoria at 2nd and Crawford at 1st. And a big healthy swing. You're gonna miss. Why not? 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Now that 100-mile-an-hour fastball is being hard to do anything with. Ball is cooking right there on the black.
Go down swinging.
He did.
That's the ball game. So Morrow throws 3 pitches, all 100 miles an hour. And game 1 of the series goes to the Chicago Cubs. And Jeremy, what I'm going to take out of this one, and I hope it's a good stepping stone for Derek Holland.
Yeah, quality start. 6 innings, I think 2 earned runs. He did his job. It's just timely hitting and free passes ended up killing him today. And runs scored on just timely hitting.
And you tip your cap to Kyle Hendricks. He had good stuff today.
Real good stuff.
So game 1 of the series goes to the Cubs. And now they'll have 2 more games to see if they can take the series. And they'll need to start to thinking about that tomorrow as they will take on these Cubs tomorrow evening.